May 4th, 2026, one of the biggest pop stars on the planet steps out of her car completely faceless, a mirrored astronaut helmet covering her entire face. You can see your own reflection looking back at you. One of her gloves has 6 fingers on it, the bottom of her dress is literally scorched. And every single fashion account on X stops scrolling at the same exact second and goes, wait, is that AI? Is that a robot? Is that a person? And here's the wildest part. She wasn't even the most disastrous look on that carpet, not even close. This year's theme was costume art, with a dress code of fashion is art. Anna Wintour and her co-chairs Beyoncé, Nicole Kidman, and Venus Williams basically gave Hollywood a blank canvas, a chance to walk that carpet as a piece of museum-grade art. And while a few stars genuinely understood the assignment, a whole lot of them showed up looking like they raided a costume warehouse 20 minutes before call time. If you love red carpet tea, hidden designer drama, and the kind of details only the deepest internet rabbit holes give you, please subscribe. It genuinely helps us keep doing this. Now let's get into it. Number 15. Ben Stiller is one of the most reliable comedic actors of the last 30 years. Sharp, funny, beloved. The Met Gala carpet, though, was not his moment. Stiller arrived in a tailored navy blue suit, a crisp white shirt, and a bright orange tie. Wife Christine Taylor stood beside him in a cobalt blue strapless gown with floral sequin embroidery. From the neck up, perfectly groomed. From the neck down, he looked ready to walk into a corporate budget meeting on the 18th floor of Midtown. And the orange tie wasn't even an attempt at art. It was a tribute to his beloved New York Knicks, who happened to be playing Game 1 of their second-round playoff series against the Sixers that exact night. Stiller even told Vogue on the carpet, "Knicks in 6, basically admitting he wished he was at Madison Square Garden instead.
Wait, it's your first time here?
Yes.
How are you feeling?
6.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know what that means, but I think it's sports related.
It must be.
The list was brutal. They called the look basically a totally boring suit brightened by an orange tie, noting most ensembles really should work without any added backstory. Plus, this fit definitely did not embrace the theme. Outkick reported that fans on X openly questioned his loyalty to the Knicks for skipping the game. So he managed to disappoint Knicks fans and fashion fans on the same night. The Met Gala doesn't reward professional, it rewards risk. And a Knicks loyalty pin disguised as evening wear was the safest possible miss. Number 14. Lily Rose Depp is a Chanel brand ambassador. She has access to literally any couture piece in the entire Chanel archive. So when she walked the Met carpet for the first time since 2021, expectations were sky high. What she delivered was, somehow, the quietest Chanel moment of the night. Depp wore a gray silk crepe de chine gown by Mathieu Blazy in his first Chanel couture for the brand, with a softly draped open back, embroidered with pastel flowers, pearls, and beads. WWD reported the dress required 597 hours of atelier work and around 2,000 embroidery elements. She paired it with pale blue Chanel cap-toe slingbacks and Chanel high jewelry. Stunning craftsmanship, stunning numbers, almost no impact. The list delivered the verdict that lit the internet up. They wrote, as a Chanel brand ambassador, Lily Rose Depp definitely knows a thing or two about fashion. So why did she wear a boring dress, fit for a garden party on fashion's biggest night? This pink and blue Chanel ensemble would have been a great look to attend a baby shower, but it was hardly a big fashion statement. Plus, pairing it with equally boring hair and makeup made it even worse. Ouch. 597 hours of work shouldn't read as a baby shower. The pastel palette took away any drama. The styling was so understated it disappeared. And on a night called Fashion is Art, disappearing is the cardinal sin. Number 13. If you don't know Charlotte Gainsbourg, she's a French actress and singer with one of the coolest, most effortlessly Parisian aesthetics in the entire industry. She's a longtime Saint Laurent muse, attending her 7th Met Gala. The internet was rooting for her. What she delivered was a long-sleeved black leather mini dress with a long leather train, paired with opaque tights, a chunky gold belt at the waist, gold-touch stilettos, and a small gold clutch, designed entirely by Saint Laurent's Anthony Vaccarello. From the neck up, smudged liner, lived-in beauty, neutral lips, pure French girl, effortless. The problem? Effortless is the exact opposite of what the Met Gala asks for. The list skewered her with one of the most quoted lines of their entire roundup. Charlotte Gainsbourg's ensemble may have been Saint Laurent, but thanks to the fabric and silhouette, it kind of looked like something you could pick up at the mall. A long-sleeve leather mini dress with tights isn't revolutionary, and while this version may have had a train and a gold belt added, it still felt way too casual for the occasion. In fact, this may have even been a bit too basic for a less prestigious red carpet event. Slapping a train on a casual leather mini doesn't transform it into wearable art. The Parisian rock chic aesthetic is genuinely cool. For dinner in the Monáe, for the Met Gala on the year of Fashion is Art, wrong room, beautiful woman, completely wrong dress. Number 12. Look, I love Ben Platt. Dear Evan Hansen, the voice, the theater kid energy, genuinely talented. But this look was, hands down, the most cited example of what the fashion world calls too literal interpretation of an art theme. Platt walked the carpet in a custom Tanner Fletcher suit that took over 120 hours of meticulous hand painting, beading, and embroidery on silk wool. The entire suit was a direct, head-to-toe homage to Georges Seurat's 1884 pointillist masterpiece, A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte. For theater fans, this also nodded to Stephen Sondheim's musical Sunday in the Park with George. Conceptually clever. In execution, an actual painting wrapped around a man. Tom plus Lorenzo, one of the most respected fashion critic blogs in the game, dropped the verdict. We'll be honest, we hate this. This is exactly the kind of overly literal, unimaginative designs we predicted would dominate this red carpet. Because when you hand celebrities a Met Gala theme, some of them are going to go for the most obvious interpretations. We don't even think this is executed all that well. Looks craftsy as anything. This is the perfect cautionary tale of the night. Don't wear the painting, evoke it. Platt put the Louvre on his jacket and forgot the fashion at home. Number 11. This one genuinely stings, because Joey King's hair and makeup that night might have been the most beautiful she has ever looked on a carpet. Cascading red curls, glowing pink blush, etched soft pink lip liner, pure pre-Raphaelite painted portrait energy. Who What Wear actually said her face deserved to hang in the Louvre, and then your eye dropped below her chin and the Renaissance painting ended. King, a Miu Miu brand ambassador attending her second Met Gala, wore a custom Miu Miu in heavily embellished sparkly silver with peach undertones. The crystal-adorned sheer paneling created a wavy pattern across the front. Thin spaghetti straps, a high-ish neckline, a short, restrictive hem. The peach and silver clashed with the warm, soft, classical glam happening on her face. The silhouette was busy. The hem was Olympic short. Sadian vintage jewelry tried to elevate it, but couldn't. The list called it perfectly. This may be the best Joey King's hair and makeup has ever looked. Unfortunately, she didn't continue the impeccable styling from the neck down. This sparkly silver Miu Miu number had a lot going on. Yet all of these elements came together to create what appeared to be a perfect figure skating moment. Had she swapped out the heels for some skates, she would have been ready to do some twirls on the ice. The face said Florence 1485. The dress said Olympic figure skating in Calgary. They never met. Number 10. Karlie Kloss is a seasoned Met Gala veteran. She's a literal supermodel. She has worked with every haute couture house on earth. So this miss was genuinely shocking. Kloss wore a stark white Christian Dior gown, Jonathan Anderson's first couture collection at Dior, featuring a highly unconventional, bulbous, balloon-like shape that inflated outward around her torso and hips before tapering back down. She accessorized with bright green pumps and lilac orchid hair accents. According to Marie Claire editors live reacting, the look made several of them genuinely confused. The internet immediately reached for the only comparison that made sense, and oh, it was savage. The list wrote, "Fashion is garlic?" Karlie Kloss brought her Kushner husband to the Met, where she wore this white Dior dress with a definitely unique balloon-like shape. While the green pumps and purple flowers gave delicate spring vibes, the whole look didn't quite work. It probably wouldn't have worked for any occasion. Yes, they compared the silhouette to a giant garlic bulb, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Here's the technical problem. The dress inflated around the midsection in a way that completely overwhelmed her natural lines. On a night specifically about celebrating the body and how garments interact with anatomy, choosing a silhouette that erased one of the most enviable frames in fashion was a fundamental misreading. 3 different mood boards, stark white architecture, springtime florals, garden party shoes, all fighting in one outfit. Number 9. I love a Rami Malek red carpet. Calm, precise, mysterious, sharp tailoring, restraint, his signature platinum Cartier watches. But the 2026 Met Gala, one single accessory threw the entire look off a cliff. Malek wore custom Saint Laurent. From the neck down, the suit was gorgeous. Razor-sharp black tailoring, narrow lines, a sparkly statement brooch, and his ultra-rare 1992 platinum Cartier crash watch, which GQ Middle East argued was the actual standout of the look. So far, so good. But then there was the scarf, or the collar, or whatever it was. A massive, fluffy, fur-trimmed neck piece wrapping around his shoulders and jutting outward in a way that completely disconnected his head from the rest of his body. Saint Laurent's intention was clearly to add a soft, sculptural element to the sharp tailoring. The internet had other ideas, and under the official Met livestream, one viral commenter just wrote, "Bro took a neck pillow with him." That comment alone got reposted hundreds of times. GQ tried to rescue the look as bondified villainous, And yes, the Cartier was extraordinary. But here's the brutal red carpet truth. One bad accessory can sink an otherwise masterful suit. Rami learned that one in real time. Number 8. Okay, deep breath. Janelle Monáe is one of the most fearless dressers on any red carpet, and I have so much respect for what she attempted here. But this look genuinely split the internet down the middle, and a huge portion of viewers landed firmly in the "what am I looking at" camp. Monáe wore a custom Christian Siriano constructed from real electrical cables, live moss, succulents, circuit board fragments, and 230 actual electrical wires, decorated with mechanical butterflies and dragonflies that moved. There was a butterfly perched on her head, 5,000 black crystals woven through, animatronic elements designed by Cameron Hughes. The look was a tribute to her futuristic alter ego Cindy Mayweather and represented a message about technology versus nature in the age of AI. Balance must be restored, she told Variety. Conceptually, genius. Visually, on a red carpet, chaotic.
The rise. Balance must be restored.
Bored Panda compiled the harshest reactions. One viewer said it looked like she got swallowed by her computer. Another said the dress resembled every mobile charger anyone could possibly need. The Mirror US ran a viral piece headlined, "Janelle Monáe leaves fans confused as she dons DVD Met Gala dress," with one ex-user posting a side-by-side comparison of the gown next to an actual microchip. I admire the ambition. Plenty of fans called it the most on-theme look of the night, but that's the line. When half the internet thinks you nailed it and the other half thinks you got swallowed by office wiring, you've crossed from fashion is art into this is an installation. Beautiful idea, tough execution. Number 7, girl. When Anna Wintour, the literal architect of the Met Gala, the woman who invented this carpet as a global cultural moment, lands on the worst dressed list at her own event, that is the kind of tea you cannot make up. Wintour wore a custom Chanel turquoise and black embroidered gown, topped with a feathery teal jacket. Same blunt bob, same heavy bangs, same oversized sunglasses, same statement necklace, same strappy black stilettos, and this is the part that broke the internet, the same general silhouette she has been wearing for the better part of 15 years. Bored Panda compiled the most savage reactions. One viral X post, "Girl, she looks like a flightless bird, delete this now." Another, "She's been wearing variations of the same silhouette for 15 years. Innovation where? Or do we just keep praising her because it's Anna?" A third, "Always looking chopped at your own event." And the most savage one, "The curse of being worst dressed guest is finally broken." Here's the context that makes this even spicier. This is Wintour's first Met Gala since handing daily editorial control of Vogue to Chloe Mal in 2025. So the symbolism of her arriving in a recycled silhouette on the year fashion was supposed to be art, people noticed. The dress itself was technically Beautiful Chanel by Matteo Blasi, but on a fashion is art carpet, Anna playing it Anna safe felt like the headmistress skipping her own homework. Number 6. This look had genuine intellectual ambition. From the front, it actually worked. Once she turned around, the internet melted down. Wilde wore custom Tom Brown, a sleek, off-the-shoulder black silk column gown that skimmed her frame elegantly. Front view, minimalist, chic, gorgeous. But she swiveled to walk up the steps, and everyone saw it. Wilde herself defended it beautifully, telling the cut, "It's incredible and it's part of the exhibit in terms of body and abstract body shapes, which is one of the big pillars of the exhibition." She even joked on her Instagram beforehand, mentally preparing for the Met by practicing not ever sitting down or having to use the restroom. But the comparisons started flying. Bored Panda's roundup pulled the most quoted reaction. "Is that a horse halter? That is not where that goes." Another viewer, "Looks like a bride is stuck in the back of her dress." And the most savage one, "I understand the historicity of bustles, but that makes her look like she's got a special cage like an unfortunate horse in a parade. Why she lands at 6 and not higher?" The front was genuinely stunning. The brown tailoring, impeccable. The ambition was real, but the execution didn't quite match the brain behind it. Number 4, I'll say this up front. Sam Smith is one of the most fearless gender-fluid dressers in pop music, and I deeply respect their refusal to ever play it safe. But the 2026 Met Gala, genuinely a lot to recover from. Smith wore custom Christian Cowan, designed by their actual partner, inspired by 1920s Art Deco illustrator Erte. The look was a heavily embellished black mermaid gown with a chiffon skirt, a massive fuzzy fur-lined lapel, enormous winged sleeves that draped down like wings, and the kicker, a a structured headpiece topped with a single feather, towering nearly 2 feet tall. The numbers behind this look are genuinely staggering. According to Billboard, the coat was adorned with over 230,000 crystals and beads, hand-placed by a team of 45 artisans over 800 hours. Total weight of the outfit? 52 pounds. That's heavier than a checked airline suitcase. The Mirror US reported Sam was visibly struggling to walk up the museum steps. And the reactions? Devastating. The most shared X post from Bored Panda's Roundup. Sam Smith really paid 6 figures to show up looking like a budget version of a horror movie villain in that dusty black robe. Met Gala theme said, "Fashion is art," and he brought "funeral director" on clearance. Another fan wrote, "This is nonsense. Sam Smith looking like a budget RuPaul reject who lost a fight with a craft store. This isn't fashion. It's a cry for relevance." Viewers compared the silhouette to Yzma, the villain from The Emperor's New Groove, and honestly, you cannot unsee that either. The craftsmanship was real, the vision was bold, but 52 pounds of crystals and a 2-foot feather that made you look like a Disney villain, that tipped from couture into pure cartoon. Number 3, this one is genuinely sad because the idea behind this dress was brilliant, possibly the most intellectually ambitious concept of the entire night. The execution? A red, feathered, overwhelming disaster. Dunham, back at the Met for the first time in 7 years and named to the host committee, wore custom Valentino designed by Alessandro Michele, a one-shoulder bright red sequined column with a thigh-high slit completely engulfed from chin to shoulder by an explosion of crow feathers. She paired it with severe, eyebrowless, ultra-pale beauty styling that washed her face out entirely. Here's the inspiration, and prepare yourself. Dunham wrote Michelle a long fan letter about her love for Artemisia Gentileschi's Renaissance painting, Judith and Holofernes. He responded that he was up for the task, but instead of designing around the Renaissance silhouettes or the dramatic narrative, he zeroed in on, and I quote Dunham's interview with Vogue, "a particular spatter on the neck of Holofernes." The dress was meant to literally depict that spatter from the painting. Conceptually, genius. Visually, catastrophic. Number 1, the unanimous, universally agreed upon, every major publication confirmed worst dressed of the 2026 Met Gala. And listen, it wasn't worst dressed because the gown was bad. It was worst dressed because Katy Perry tried to pack 4 completely unrelated concepts into one outfit and accidentally became a meme. Perry returned to the Met for the first time since 2022, her 10th gala appearance overall. She wore a custom strapless white Stella McCartney gown made from repurposed Italian Duchess satin. Then she added a deliberately scorched charred train designed to tease her upcoming single, Watch It Burn. White opera gloves, and one of them had 6 fingers, a self-aware joke about the AI deepfakes of her at past Met Galas she didn't attend in 2024 and 2025. Metallic dental grills, tarot cards reading "Commitment to the Bit," and then, the part that broke the internet, a fully reflective chrome mirrored mask by Bosnian designer Miodrag Guberinic that completely concealed her face on arrival. Newsweek called her probably the most affected of the lot. The comparisons were ruthless and immediate. Katy Perry pretending to be an astronaut again at Met Gala 2026, reminding everyone she's been to space. Who wore it better, Katy Perry or Tesla's Optimus robot? People called her a fencer, a robot. Here's what made this number 1. Every single element fought every other element. The pristine white gown wanted classical. The scorched train wanted post-apocalyptic. The mirror mask wanted sci-fi. The 6-fingered glove wanted internet meme. The tarot cards wanted mysticism. 5 concepts, 1 outfit, 0 cohesion. And on the year fashion was supposed to be art, Katy delivered a marketing campaign for a single, an inside joke about deepfakes, and a fencing helmet, all stacked on top of a basic strapless gown. She made the entire internet talk. She just didn't make them love it. Step back from the worst dressed list for a second, because there's something deeper happening at this Met Gala that almost nobody is talking about, and it explains every single look on this list. Fashion is art was the first dress code in years that gave celebrities almost no rules. And that openness exposed something brutal. Most A-list stars don't actually know how to interpret art on their own. They know how to wear a theme: camp, gilded glamour, heavenly bodies, because a theme tells you exactly what to do. Art doesn't. Art asks you to think. And the second the thinking became the celebrity's job instead of the stylist's, half of Hollywood broke down. Here's the pattern hiding inside every single look we just covered. The people who failed weren't the people who took risks. The risk wasn't the problem. The problem was they confused reference with translation. They put the art on the dress instead of letting the dress suggest the art. Heidi became a statue instead of evoking one. Lena wore the spatter instead of channeling its emotion. Ben Platt literally hand-painted Surratt onto a suit jacket. Katy stacked 5 ideas hoping one would stick. And the people who got it right that night? Beyoncé and skeletal Olivier roosting. Hunter Schafer channeling Klimt's Meta Primavesi in Prada. Sabrina Carpenter in a Dior gown made from actual Audrey Hepburn film strips. Chase Infinity in 1.5 million sequins of Tom Brown. All did the same thing. They let the art whisper instead of shout. They trusted that one perfectly executed reference, beautifully tailored to the body, would land harder than 10 ideas crammed together. This is the actual takeaway from May 4th, 2026, and it's bigger than the Met Gala. It applies to how you dress for any moment that matters. A wedding, a pitch meeting, a first date. Restraint is louder than effort. One clear idea beats 10 chaotic ones. The body must always come before the costume. And if your outfit needs a press release to be understood, it has already lost the room. The Met Gala doesn't punish bad taste. It punishes bad editing. Every single person on this list got that lesson the hard way, in front of millions of cameras in real time. If this breakdown gave you something to think about, drop a comment with the look that surprised you the most, and please subscribe. We do these deep dives every award season, and your support is genuinely the only reason we get to keep telling the stories behind the dresses. See you on the next one.